Hi there, it's Marty Gunderson again. Just wanted to share with you quickly about Turks and Caicos in general. As I mentioned, I'm getting a lot of interest on Turks and Caicos in general, and I thought I'd just share a little bit about what we're doing and what is Turks and Caicos and what are some of the elements, the important things that you need to know. The key thing that I wanted to share with you, though, I did do a video on why I think now is a great time to invest in Turks and Caicos. I won't go through that again, but I'll just share with you two key reasons why I think there's and I shared with this actually this morning with a fellow, and I thought it was good. There's really two main reasons. The first reason I would say is Turks and Caicos is beautiful by nature. It's absolutely gorgeous. The beaches are gorgeous. But the other thing that it's built on, whether it was on purpose or not, is it has a significant number of beach villas. So villas that you rent out to a full family, you could have six, 8 bedroom units, as opposed to more higher density hotels. Now, what that does is a few things. Number one, it brings, as I mentioned, brings down the low density lower to the island, so there's less people coming in. The average stay is higher. In fact, the tourism industry has put out some data that says Turks and Caicos has the highest nightly rates or ADR in the whole Caribbean, which makes sense because a lot of the people that come here stay in beach villas. So the island is actually well positioned for post-COVID high-end stays. You've got beautiful beaches and beautiful restaurants and such beautiful amenities, but you've also got lower density, so you could have private elements of your stay that you're not piled on top of each other and such. And so I think that's probably the number one reason why I'm quite optimistic about Turks and Caicos in general. The second reason is there's a massive construction that's happening on the island as we speak, and that is the Ritz-Carlton in Grace Bay. And I mentioned before, I strongly believe this will change the landscape of the island for good. It's going to bring a high profile island even higher. And there's going to be lots of interest. There's an entertainment area, casino. There's just a lot of exciting things, and I can tell you there's so much buzz right now because Ritz Carlton is going to be opening fairly soon, and it's a great jolt for the island. And so like I said, it's going to change the landscape, and there's a lot of great things, and the rising tide raises all boats. This is a dynamic that's going to be rising the tide of all the places in Turks and Caicos. So I think those specific reasons why I feel that really in the next 10 years I think there's going to be a great surge in interest in tourism as well as construction and your own beach villa. So that's why I'm optimistic. I also want to share with you, when people say Turks and Caicos, maybe there's a few things that people I think need to understand about Turks and Caicos. It's not a specific island. It's actually made up of 40 islands. And so I'll give you there's some major islands that I want to kind of share with you. And before I do that though, just to give you a sense of where we're at. So this is Miami. So I'll go a little further. So you can see here's Miami right here. It's about an hour and a half flight to Turks and Caicos, and we spend $100 to $300 to get here. It's quite reasonable. And these are the islands. So just to go through this quickly, so Providenciales, or we call it Provo, is maybe the main island or the one that gets the most press because it has Grace Bay. Grace Bay is generally speaking the top beach in the world, rated by a lot of different people. And so this is Providenciales. So there's a lot of tourism, a lot of construction happening on the island. You've got the kind of the leeward side. There's a leeward community with a bunch of canals, absolutely gorgeous. So a lot of expats live here. Although there is a lot of short-term rental opportunity in here as well. So it's kind of dual purposed. Here you've got Grace Bay. On the opposite side of the island is Long Bay. So this is where the wind comes in, and we've got consistent wind, which makes it a haven for kiteboarding. In fact, it's one of the top places in the world for kiteboarding. You've got kind of a nice kind of sleepy community. I think is well positioned for amazing growth. This area is called Turtletail. Gorgeous views. I would argue maybe some of the best views on the whole island is in Turtletail. Then you pass through here. You've got this area called Chalk Sound. Chalk Sound's a little off the beaten path, and so you still have beautiful views, and you can get it at a better price. Then you've got up here, there's this is called Northwest Point in this area. Again, off the beaten path, and I think maybe some of the cheapest on-beach real estate that you'll see on the island, and I think it's a great deal. You've got Blue Hills in this area, and then we're back at Grace Bay in that. So this is Provo. This is where the hotel, the airport, the international airport comes in. And so if you fly into Turks and Caicos, you're flying into PLS right here. And then if you're going, it would be a launch off point if you're going to a different island. So you'd fly in here and then go to Grand Turk or South or other places. So this is Provo. If you go up through Provo, you've got the mangroves right next to the Leeward community. Great place to paddleboard. Strongly recommend it. Then you have a few different islands. Pine Key is a very wealthy island that kind of a private island that you can buy a residence for. You've got a few other properties. Then you have Parrot Key, where there's a lot of celebrities that own spots. Bruce Willis, I think, used to own. Keith Richards, and I mean, I can name drop a few celebrities, but it's very well done. And then next to it is North Caicos. So, and what's interesting is there's Sandy Point. There's a Sandy Point resort that's kind of part of a marina that they're just building. I'm quite eager to learn more about this, but it's North Caicos is not nearly as you can even see in the Google map. It's not nearly as developed as Providenciales, and maybe there's an opportunity. I actually believe there is for kind of land banking in that regard. So you also have so this is north. There's actually a causeway that connects north with Middle Caicos, and Middle Caicos is even less dense. There's less development on here. But there's some beautiful beaches. Bambara Beach is absolutely gorgeous. There's Mudgeon Harbor with a great little restaurant. I'd strongly recommend that. So this is Middle Caicos and North. And then you've got East Caicos. And East is it's not, I don't believe there's anybody actually living on it, but there's another real opportunity. I know they're selling some land here. There's no real connection. I don't believe you can drive on the island, but you've got a beautiful landmass with beautiful beaches that has not developed at all. And then if you go south, you've got South Caicos. So this is a predominant developer on the island is called Sail Rock, and so they have a resort, absolutely gorgeous spot. They've got obviously the airport going back and forth to Provo, and beautiful spot. It's again very low density, and there's some beautiful homes that Sail Rock are putting in. On the other side is West Caicos, so right kind of south of Provo. Southwest would be West Caicos, and that's a development that had some homes on it. It failed through the mortgage crisis, and I believe they're just starting up again. So it'd be interesting to see what happens there. Below South Caicos is Ambergris Cays, so the Little and Big Ambergris. These are high-end resorts, again, private island stuff. So that's on this side, and then you cross over. Now, what's interesting, as you can see the different colors, so this is the reef system, quite shallow until you hit the dark, and then it drops off. So you can see, some of the best diving. You go to west, or actually right in front of Grace Bay, and then we can start getting into some deeper ocean. But if you want to go to Grand Turk, you've got to cross over the deep ocean and get into Grand Turk. And so Grand Turk is the capital. A lot of the political and administrative function of the country. And so this is, and what's interesting is when people say they sailed into Turks and Caicos, that means they went to Grand Turk. So that's because this is the only deep water port. So they would just go in through here. And and there's a lot of tourists that go into Grand Turk on a regular basis. And then you've got just south of it is Salt Key, a great spot to do whale watching. And so those would be this would be all the islands of Turks and Caicos. So I hope this is informative. Again, if you have any questions, please reach me on social media, Quidney Lifestyle Design, or in the comments. Happy to answer any questions. Thank you.
Hi, thanks for listening. If you like our videos, feel free to subscribe and click on that notification button so you don't miss any more. And if you like it, give a thumbs up. And if you have any questions or comments, feel free to put your comment below and we'll engage and interact with you. Happy to. Also, if you're looking at actually building your beach haven in Turks and Caicos, we have a free resource called a Project Planning Guide. So download it at the link below. Thanks again. Take care.